with you? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Shweta. Something that is happening right now, which is really cool and mysterious in some sorts. It's the full moon in Scorpio while the sun is in Taurus. And before I move on, I just want to apologize for not uploading the new moon in Aries video because of some personal issue. I couldn't be on YouTube, but it's okay, it's fine. We're going to be talking about full moon in Scorpio, and it's going to be so interesting, and I can't wait to talk about it. Full moons, as I have told you before, they are really important, especially if you want to reflect onto what has happened in the past 15 days since the new moon, and if you want to just introspect as to what you need to let go of or what you need to inculcate more in your life. Full moons are these sort of, it's the time when the moon is at its peak, at its brightest, at its fullest, and it's that time when the moon's light is reflecting onto all your deeds and all your manifestations, and you can see what is happening within yourself and outside you and inside you, and you realize what aspect of you or something else or XYZ is going to benefit you and what is not. So full moons as a whole is a really important period of time where you really start introspecting within yourself and start reflecting and sort of take in what is required and let go of what isn't. So the first thing that we're going to speak about is the fact that the full moon is in Scorpio. Now Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto. Pluto is all about rapid change, transition, transformation, metamorphosis, everything that leads you to a rebirth, right? Now during this time, you will see a lot of fake behavior or people who are not true to themselves reveal themselves. In fact, even within yourself, I think a lot of the times you will realize certain aspects of yourself that are causing you to limit your potential. Now, be very careful of this particular season because things are pretty intense. We have the super moon. That means the moon is so close to us, the energies will just get intensified. Then we have the moon in Scorpio, which is again a water element. Talking about Scorpio, Scorpios are obsessed with the subconscious. They love talking about their dreams. They love talking about things that are within you from your soul, right? They have like this innate need to talk about their subconscious beliefs, really dig in within themselves and try to better themselves. You can say that Scorpios are all about the things that are intangible, the things about the body, mind and soul. So they are really obsessed with diving deep into certain situations. So as I was saying, right, you have the super moon, which is really intense. Then you have a water element. It's all about self-reflection. Then you have the Pluto, the ruler of that planet. Again, both are the same things, but still the planet is so unpredictable, right? You really got to believe in yourself because nothing seems the way it is supposed to seem like. Plus you have certain other placements, right? You have Mars in Cancer. Cancer is again a water element, very emotional. It's a time of extreme emotional upheaval. I can sense the fact that all of us are dealing with some very emotional emotional pressure and attention within us. Actually, things are just getting intensified over and over. And then you have Mercury, Venus and Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is again about rapid change, extreme sudden change of events. So all of this is bringing to us to one conclusion, that things are going to change. Now whether it is from a positive to negative or negative to a positive is up to your own deeds, right? If I want to give a card to this, maybe it will be like a Wheel of Fortune and a Death card, right? Because the Death card symbolizes that you need to let go of everything that limits you. So it's a time of a lot of self-reflection. Illuminate things about you that you really want to take with you and just discard things that you don't want. Everything that stops you from being your best potential every single day needs to go. Plus we have Pluto in retrograde from 27th April to I think the next 6 months. I'll just say hold on to your seats because it's going to be a roller coaster because so many things are going to change. So just be very careful of how you are trying to tread this path, especially the coming 6 months. I think you need to be accepting of these changes that are happening. And subsequently, if we talk about the sun, we have it in Taurus. Obviously it's Taurus season, and it's kind of weird when I was thinking about it. Like Taurus is very different from Scorpio. They are kind of like polar opposites. Scorpio is all about self-reflection, deep analysis, change, lot of metamorphosis, lot of change, internal change, and On the hindsight, Taurus is a lot of living in the moment. It has a lot to do with tangibility, materialistic things. Is just living in the present kind of a situation where they really don't care about things that need to get dwelled into deeper. So the funny thing is that Taurus will always believe in set structures, believing in their personal values, personal assets, maintaining sort of methodology. And Scorpio is all about breaking these structures. Scorpio is all about going within. There is more to what it looks like. So like a Taurus will be a little more on the face kind of a situation, and Scorpio is going to just have layers over layers over layers. So what the full moon actually calls us to do is actually strike a balance between these two, where we are also trying to take in the element of the earth, where we are maintaining some sort of a plan or some sort of a structure within us, while also being okay and receptive towards the changes that are coming our way. So if you look at this in this sense, right, Taurus is all about your outer self, right? How you look, how you project yourself, how you sit, how you stand. And Scorpio is all about how you are from within, how your heart is, and how your mind is working, how your soul is working. So until unless you don't fix yourself from within, things won't look great outside. A simple example is, if you are not believing in yourself from within, you will not be able to be confident to speak, or you will not be able to put your point forward. So it's that striking that is required. This is a very lame example, I know, but it's an example at the end of the day. So if I want to give like one sentence to this entire situation that is happening, full moon in Scorpio while in Taurus season, I will say, give structure to your emotions, right? Speak your truth. Don't be in a zone where you don't know what you need. Take control of your emotions. Give some stability and substantiability to your emotions. So when we say structure your emotions, you also try to bring in the masculinity and femininity, and then also strike a balance. So this is all interlinked. How is it masculine and feminine? Because structure, orderliness, methodology is all masculine terms. Now this is up for debate, but how people perceive it is it's a very masculine trait. And getting deep into our heart and getting into our subconscious level, those aspects are all feminine. So we are not wanting to neglect any of these two aspects of the human body. They are like yin and yang. You cannot neglect it. The situation is very, very interesting. It's very, very delicate. It's very susceptible to change. Every small thing that you do, be very mindful if it's sticking to your purpose, while also enjoying the little things of your life. That's the absolute crux of what is happening. Plus, when you look at other people, be very careful of what their intentions are, because there is a possibility that the cloak will get revealed and you will just realize their true intentions. Especially in the coming next 6 months, retrogrades are very common to occur, but still it's always great to be mindful. It's always great to be aware about what's happening around us. So just a few things that I would want to say to all of you is, don't be afraid of this situation. Don't think that, oh my god, everything is going to fall apart. No, everything is in your hands. Just speak your truth, and this is not the time to have any toxic behavior. Be very, very honest and earnest about your purpose. Don't try to play any mind games. Don't let anybody play mind games with you, and just be your own true self. That is what is happening right now, and I will always be an advocate for that. No matter a retrograde or no matter what, any full moon, you always have to stick to your purpose, right? So yes, this is all about what is happening in the full moon in Scorpio with the sun in Taurus. Things are pretty dense, and they are very intense as well. So I just hope that you all realize that it's possible to have a balance between the intricacies of mind and heart and the obvious things around us, that you can be happy with the bag that you just purchased, but also realize that you are falling to the shackles of capitalism. So as you guys know, that after every new moon or full moon discussion, I always take out a few cards or do a pick a pile, and that's what I'm going to be doing now. Just some general guidance as to what to expect and what's going to be happening in the coming weeks, especially harnessing the full moon in Scorpio energies. And yes, I just hope that you guys take in the guidance and apply it in your respective lives. So let's go. You have the Hermit card in the past, 10 of Pentacles, you have 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, Death card. Okay, First, let me just tell you what your cards are. You have the Hermit, you have the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles, then you have the very nice Eight of Pentacles, and I think you have the Death card as well. Not I think, you have the Death card as well. Very transformative in nature. I knew this card would come somehow. I in my like gut, in my intuitive side, I really thought that either Wheel of Fortune will come or the Death card will come. So that's great. First of all, real Taurus energies, lot of pentacles, lot of earth elements, lot of groundedness. I can see it. A lot of money. I can sense this Taurus energy, but I can also sense sort of the Scorpion energy, even though there are not a lot of cups. There is no cup in fact, but I can still sense the underlining aspects of Scorpio, that is transformation, that is dwelling deep inside us with the Hermit and the Death card. So Scorpio is kind of coming out within this spread as well. Let's talk about the first card. You had the Hermit in the past card. I think a lot of people maybe have sort of started self-reflecting, have gotten into this zone of, what, let me just, be a little bit with myself, especially in this time when COVID is on a rise. I think it's really good that you are kind of self-isolating with yourself, taking some time off, spending some time with yourself and understanding how things are working within you. It's a very nice energy. Hermits usually really talk about self-analysis and what can be done from you, within you, without anybody else's opinions, right? It's a lot to do with, let me tread the path by myself, and this is kind of what is required for you in this particular season as well, where you are wanting to tread that path alone. You don't really necessarily need any help from others, which was kind of the scene with the Libra. Libra was all about getting help and helping others as well and accepting that help. But with Scorpio, I think it's a very lonely journey. More than lonely journey, it's a lot of self-initiated sort of a journey where you are kind of, it's necessary for you to kind of take some time off and really introspect within yourself as to what your purpose is, and where do you see yourself in perhaps the future and just in the coming few weeks or months. How do you want to grow, right? That is what the Hermit is kind of telling me, and this sort of is a very nice energy, and it's very out there with the major card. It's really prominent, and it is something that you should all imbibe. It's a spiritual journey that you will be undertaking, and now is the right time to do it with the Scorpio's energy. Next, you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a very beautiful card. First of all, very high Taurus energy, obsessed with lots of abundance, obsessed with lots of possessions and investments and all that sorts, while also taking care of the family, and it's a very family oriented card as well. I think right now is also a time where you kind of focus or divert your attention more towards your family and the people around you, the loved ones, because it's a very vulnerable time, and it will be best for you to spend the present time with your family and just building that bonds and that forming that really pious energy within themselves. And just in general, very homely card, a card that talks a lot about the earth and just connecting with yourself, being grounded, being very grateful to whatever you have. Maybe things are seeming a little dim, but there are people who are going through a lot worse. There are people who are literally begging for a breath that we just normally take. So having the attitude of gratitude is something that shouldn't even be told to you guys. It just should come automatically within yourself. If you're a person who has a roof on your head or has food to eat, water to drink, you are very lucky. So Ten of Pentacles, I feel, has a very overall kind of a Taurus energy that is just focusing more on seeping the ground's energy, the earth's energy, while also making sure that everything within themselves is stable, everything is coming to an overall happy sort of a vibe and energy. I think in the present moment, I think you should really be grateful for whatever you have. Maybe you don't have something XYZ, but it's more to do with being accepting and thankful to whatever you have. And then you have the Page of Pentacles. It's a very interesting card. I actually really like this card. Page of Pentacles have a lot to do with being very, very positive, and since it's in the placement of the future, I think that you have to keep faith in positivity, in extreme amount of law of attraction. I call them the book of law of attraction because they are such great believers of the law of attraction, very, very grounded to the earth, very studious, they are very meticulous, planning. So there's a lot of Taurus energy that I'm getting from this card. You have to be very, very focused as to what you need from yourself, and definitely start kind of journaling all of it, or start making a checklist of the things that you need from yourself, or even in day-to-day lives, just start imbibing the idea of writing things down or making a checklist. It's not necessarily it has to be in a notebook or a paper pen. You can do it in your notes app as well. Just being a little meticulous and methodological with how you want your sort of the next 3 weeks to progress is very important. You should start giving structure to all the things that are about you, and even emotions, or even the day-to-day tasks. Just try to give like some sort of a structure to them. It's very important to have things arranged and aligned in a way that just makes life easy for you. It's not okay to have your stuff or your situation or your emotions just splattered all over all over your mind, all over your life. Perhaps it's okay if it takes time for you to just figure out how to be how to make that flow chart, but definitely do make that flow chart. Definitely do involve kind of a plan of action and sort of like a to-do list for everything and anything. That's something that's going to just make your life simpler, declutter your mind, especially make things a lot simpler. And Page of Pentacles have really they love studying, and they love gaining a lot of knowledge. So if you're planning to perhaps do some sort of a post-graduation or a diploma, that's the right time for you to actually push yourself to do that. Talking about the full moon in Scorpio's energy, again, I feel like these people will be able to bear the change if they just believe in the fact that all is well that ends well, or everything is going to be okay as long as I have the right intentions, or I come from a space of purity, and I come from an area of just positivity. I think they can bear the change. A lot of people have a misconception regarding Taurians or Taurus zodiac in general, that they're very stubborn. I think we are not stubborn. We just believe in ourselves a lot, and we are okay with change if it is for our greater good. If we see a potential and us feeling safe and sound in that transformation, we are all in. So the Scorpio's energy is not kind of contradictory to us. I think we are okay, and we are perfectly fine with that transformation, with that metamorphosis, as long as it is for our own good. So it's that kind of a situation where you have a lot of pentacles, you have a lot of groundedness, but we are okay with a little bit of water. Then it's a very important card, which is the 8 of Pentacles as a hurdle. I feel I can understand what is the situation. I think with a lot of pentacles, we sort of try to overburden ourselves with work, and I've been talking about this non-stop since the Aries season as well. This energy doesn't leave us very easily. It's very easy to say that just stop working, but it takes a lot of belief system kind of a work where we really retract ourselves from working too much. I saw this video of Teal Swan on Instagram. She's an amazing lady, and I love her to death. And she says that we associate overworking with a sense of acceptance. If I do this much of work, I will get this benefits and I'll be worthy of it. And that is something so subconsciously within us that we don't even realize that it kind of is the reality of a lot of us working. Why do you work? You work to get dash dash dash. You do work to prove something to dash dash dash, or you do work to impress somebody. That is our driver motive, basically. So it's very important for us to really retract from that idea of working for something or to prove something to someone. It's very important for us to really be selfish, even while we are working. And here is where the stubbornness of the Taurus comes in, where we are very, very possessive about us and how we feel. This is the time where you actually try to showcase that, and you try to harness it, that overworking is not okay. You have to take some time off for yourself, for your mental well-being. Be compassionate towards yourself, as I said earlier, right? How will you help others until you don't keep yourself healthy, until you don't keep yourself mentally fine? And I think with the 8 of Pentacles, he's just working, and he doesn't seem to have time for anything else. Here's what I feel, if you continuously just focus on the outer world and just putting out, or just the export of energies, when will you internalize things? When will you get time to really self-dive into your own energies and your own needs and wants? So if you continuously try to produce right? When will you have time to absorb? So even if I talk about the earth elements, how will you grow a plant until and unless you don't get water within? So in the same way, how will you do well at your work as well until you realize what your inner calling is or what your real purpose is? And that is when the Scorpio's element comes in. So maybe because this hurdle is very, very real, where we are so obsessed with working like a robot. So when I talk about structure and method and methodologically working, we kind of sort of blend in the robotics of it and just focusing on one outcome. So that is a huge problem when we talk about earth elements, where they sort of become robotic in their approach or in just their thought process, where they are not able to internalize a lot of things. So this is what I feel is the issue coming from your end, where I feel like an Eight of Pentacles situation is happening, where you are not able to just focus on what are you doing. Like, do you even know what you're doing? You're just doing it blindly. Do you even know what is happening? What are you working on? What are your energies and what is making you happy? That actually has a lot to do with your own belief system than kind of the outer part of it. I think it stems a lot from how we perceive work to be like. We always say to people that work is not always going to be fun. Who said that? Who created this concept? Why can't work be fun? So it has a lot to do with how you have been brought up from your own childhood and how you've seen people around you, what kind of peers you have been around, and what kind of an energy have you throughout your life inculcated. And then right beside it, you have a very interesting card, which is the Death card. Death card, the card of transformation, the card of rebirth, the card of death of lot of things. It's a very, very important card during this entire situation, where we are kind of retracting, kind of distancing ourselves from things that no longer serve us, things that really need to get off our backs. First, it's a major card. So we start with the major card, we end with the major card. Both talk about internalizing, realizing what is good for us, because when something dies, only then something is born, right? So I feel like this kind of Scorpio energy, a lot of transformation, a lot of death to rebirth, very Pluto kind of an energy. I feel like there is a lot of that is going to actually be revealed as well regarding you, about you, and about the things associated with you. Maybe this work that you're doing is not okay for you. Maybe that the job is just sucking blood out of you, which is something that you couldn't see. But if you get involved in the energy of the Death card, you perhaps it'll be like a huge revelation. So I think it is a turn of events that are going to happen. Whenever the Death card comes, it's something that is really in dire need to happen. And you can't push it any further, and it has to happen. It's like that kind of a situation. I think that with Death card, we also kind of symbolize a lot of work on us personally, from our inner self, a lot of work from our value system, our belief system, our pattern of work, pattern of thought. It's a very, very strong energy and more to do with us internally. So it's very important for you to realize that there would be some aspects of you that don't serve you at all. So this is kind of like a shadow work that you're also doing. And it's very funny, because shadow work is usually done on new moons, but it's full moon in Scorpio, anything can happen. So even now you can definitely reflect and kind of understand what is awfully bad for you. And what really important for you is really immersing yourself in this Pluto Scorpio energy, where you are a big advocate of change, breaking of structure. Now structures, I don't mean like the things that I talked about in the Page of Pentacles situation, where you're giving planning and giving sort of a shape, but death of structures in the sense rigidity, in the sense of this one track mind, or like this caged sort of a thinking that you have, that I will just do this. So it's very important for us to realize, especially if there is a earth element, to be open for change, to be open for the water to immerse ourselves. We cannot grow until we get that water energy. It's very important for us to realize it, and this Death card is there to make us realize it. So until unless we are not accepting of other aspects of ourselves and releasing the aspects that are really pushing us down or pulling us away from our main goal, what was I saying? I forgot. So my point is that the Death card is very, very significant. I think it's the most significant out of this entire lot, right? The Hermit and the Death card. So both of them are really, huge advocates of just breaking from things that are not okay for you. Just all in all, I feel like this is a spread that is kind of very necessary for us to realize and just take in this energy. It will take some time to really realize, because we are sort of in a situation, especially the things that are happening around us, we are kind of not able to process a lot of things, and we are sort of brushing a lot of things under the carpet. We are not able to really take in what is happening around us because things are going so fast. Everything is happening in a millisecond. So this sort of turn of events is kind of overwhelming, and here's where we kind of like, bring in some realization and some hold up, let me take a step back kind of a situation with the earth element. But also then, if we just stay stagnant, and if we just don't push ourselves, and if we over push ourselves, anything, this side of the Taurus or that side of the Taurus zodiac, we really need to realize that we cannot focus on one element. Like, we have to bring in both the energies together. So yeah, this is the energy of the full moon. It's very, very intense. It's difficult to talk about it as well, because things are not okay outside, and you always try to give that glimmer of hope, and there is that glimmer of hope, and I just hope things just get well soon. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I would request you to subscribe to my channel, and also like, comment, and share with your friends, family, whoever. And definitely do let me know as to how you feel, what you are going through during this kind of phase and this kind of situation, and what energies are you in. And yeah guys, I'll try to be more active on this channel. I will not just be sticking to like full moon, new moon videos. I really want to experiment more, and I really want you guys to get to know me better. So I will also be doing some nice kind of challenges and some fun stuff. And yeah, I would just want to thank you guys for coming here and watching my videos where I talk non-stop for 20 minutes. Yeah, thank you so much guys, and just stay safe and take care of yourself. Bye bye.